Hello, my programming students, especially my Python students. So today we're going to talk about this fundamentals of Python. Um, let's get started. Now, what are some of the objectives of this? We're going to talk about features of an algorithm, hardware, software, brief history of the computer, compose and run a simple Python program. Computer science focuses on a broad set of interrelated ideas: algorithms, information processing. So, what's an algorithm? Well, an algorithm is basically a recipe. Say we want to subtract two numbers. Step one, start with the number, the larger number above the smaller number. Then you work your way down and you start subtracting from the left to the right. So that's basically an algorithm. Or a recipe. If I want to make a cup of tea, which I just had, I'll need to boil the hot water, put water in there, a tea bag, sugar, stir it, wait for a while, let it cool, and then I'll drink it. So basically, an algorithm is a number of steps. Each step is individually assigned, and we can do something over and over and over. Our computers work like that, right? Information processing. Information is basically data. We start with input. Now, all our programs in Python are going to have input, processing, and output. A modern computer has hardware and software devices. We are talking about the software. And the software that we're going to be talking about is Python. The hardware is your memory, CPU. Now that you'll do in an IS course, not in a programming course, okay? You learn about RAM, ROM, processing, semiconductors. There's something about the computer's memory. What's a program? Now, a program is basically a computer. Um, it has a number of lines of code. Sometimes you call it coding, sometimes you call it programming. We're going to be learning about Python, not all these application software like web browsers, word processors. Maybe we can do that if you like. Now, this language that we're going to be talking about is a high-level language, Python, right? And we're going to be using an editor to do it, an IDE. So the text editor will take the program, translate it, check for any syntax errors. I think I spoke to you about debugging. And we're going to run the program, and voila, we're going to get some output. You can go through the history of the computer. So what's an algorithm? Let's talk about abacus. Who's this guy, Blaise Pascal? William Leibniz. We'll come back to that. So the first programming language was very close to machine language. We are lucky we're going to be using a high-level language like Python. Or for my C++ students, yeah, C++. Okay, just to put you into the picture, in about the 2000s we had the personal digital assistants, and now we have iPod, iPhone, iPad. You know I like the Apple products. So this thing about Python. Python was developed around about the 1990s. And go to this website, www.python.org, and you better make sure that you download the program, okay? Python is an interpreted language. So you're going to be using a Python shell to launch the IDLE. And I'm talking about this PyCharm. We'll talk more about that when we get to it. So here's the interactive shell, you like that. Now every program will have input, processing, and output. this statement, print, and whatever the expression is. For example, I'll say print, hi there. That's an output statement. Input statement, enter your name. The input statement always builds a string from the user's keystrokes and returns it to the program. There are two types of conversion functions, int for integers and float for floating point numbers. The next session, input processing, you have input. There's a processing and an output together. First plus sum. So this is an algorithm, all right? Input, integer, input a string, print. Right, they talk about glues the two strings together, or another word is concatenate. Now, in Python, you'll have to save your program files, or it's called scripts. Python program files use the .py extension. Remember that. So, how Python works. Here's your Python code. It has a syntax checker, or we'll use a debugger. And if there's any errors, it's going to say, give it to you, syntax errors. If there's no errors, it should run the program and generate the output for you. Now, this is pretty important. What is syntax errors? I think I'll probably have to test you in the exam. So learn what this is, what it's all about, a syntax error. Now, we also have runtime errors and compiled errors. We'll talk about that later on. Look at this. The next statement prints the value and it's misspelled. Print length. Syntax error, unexpected indent. When we run it on the IDE, we'll check what's happening. So basically, we spoke about an algorithm, information processing, CPU, memory, input, output devices, software, and you came to learn about programming languages. Python is a high-level language. C++ too. I also teach C++. Python scripts are programs that are saved in files and run from a terminal command prompt. We are not necessarily going to use a command prompt, but keep that in mind. And when a Python program is executed, it is translated into bytecode. Syntax are a set of rules for forming correct expressions and statements in a programming language. That does it. I hope you like our PowerPoint presentation. Please click on the like button. Bye for now.